Right, another day, a few days on from the last video, I guess. Just taking a delivery of some, hopefully media. I think that's what's in here. Forget what your order's on. Oh yeah. The other media that I'm waiting on, I think it's called pumice, not alpha growth, what I thought it was. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'd really like to get on and get put in the pond, but filter over. Just give that a quick rinse off really. Quite surprised in how much rubbish and that comes out of it, I think, but I think these work out to about like 8p each, so pretty cheap. Can't really buy much for 8p these days, can you? But get that in there, I've just got to turn off the skimmer line. Turn that off, turn the UV off, move that there if possible, there's something in the way. There we go, that'll do. I do like this sieve filter. The only problem with it, it's not really a problem as such, but I clean it out about 3 to 4 times a day. So that there is what's come from lunch. So I think it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so surprising how much it does catch, but also it can block up and it leaves this like glare on the screen, so I need to look into that and try and work out a better way to clean it, because I just rinse it off with the hose pipe 2 or 3 times a day. As and when I clean it, pull that media out. In a minute, then we got done a couple of days ago, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so the other stuff's just under the void space. So I can put a couple of bits there, a couple of bits there. Let's do that. One bit there. Another bit there. Sorry, one-handed camera. Can't remember where that other bit went now. There. Put that back in and see what we got. What's it hitting on? Right, so I've got to turn those around if I can. Cable tie is going to be on the wrong way. Right, I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I'm going to chop them bit. Actually, I might chop them feet off completely and run a couple bits down the sides. I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, what I've ended up doing is I just chopped these little feet off, and I've got all of those extra 10 bits in there now. So the void space probably doesn't actually really need to be in there. It just gives it gave me more of a flat surface, I guess, for the other media. But that's the media in there now, so it takes up nearly all of the space. So happy with that. So just wait for the other stuff to come now. So as and when it comes, I'll add to this video. Right, finally, after a couple of weeks waiting, the new media has finally arrived. Pumice. So the only thing is, it seems to be a lot smaller than my other stuff, and I'm pretty sure when I ordered it I asked for the big stuff. But I might end up having to put it in these net bags, but I'm going to go through. I've got to rinse it all off first, so I'm going to get that going in a big bucket now, and then I'll come back to you and I'll start putting it into the sieve filter. Definitely worth rinsing this stuff off first. It's only a little bit in there, but look how dirty that water is. Definitely don't want that going in your pond. Right, I've had to stop cleaning that because it's just started raining. And another problem is it's smaller than the net, so it does get through, which is a bit of a pain. So there's always one thing, isn't it? It can't be a simple job. Right, morning everyone, new day, another little project. I'm going to change the inlet for this skimmer line. So I don't know if you can see, I'll move the camera a little bit. When I turn the pump off, you'll see the water back flows through the top of the skimmer. So if I just pull the pump, you will see that the water is coming back through there. So as soon as I close the valve, the water stops. So I'm gonna change this so this is the permanent drain, and I'm gonna move this up to about here. So I'm just gonna empty all of the media. And then I'll come back to you because I've got to put a hole saw bit through there. I don't really want the plastic bits getting in there, shouldn't be too bad, but it's Friday today. Normally I clean this one on a Saturday, so I'll probably clean this skimmer line today, do this, and then I'll do the rest tomorrow. I'm going to have to cut a little hole in here for the pipe to go straight through, I think. If that's possible. It's not the strongest piece, but we shall see. So I'll come back to you in a minute once I've got that hole saw and the hydro seal in place. Right, so hydro seal in, extended the hose, this bit's still the same. I've gone ahead and made this, which will go in the inside. This T-piece will be a siphon, or to break the siphon in the event of a power cut, so this bit will go straight down to the bottom, like so. And what I've done is I've cut the void space out at the bottom like this, so it'll go straight through and keep it as close to the edge as I can. So I'm just going to drain this water off before I test it, because I don't want to put the dirty water through the system, so I'll come back in just a sec. Right, so I've just added some fresh water so we can put this together now. The bottom going in first. Turn it on and see how it goes. Right, I'll spin you around here if the camera allows it. Right, turn it on and see what happens. If too much water starts coming out of here, I can always put a valve on it. But so far, that's pretty good. Nothing coming out. Yeah, Right, so if I turn that off, you'll be able to see what happens. So the water height should stay just below that drain off and open. Yep. So there we go. That's a bit better. So now I know in the future if any of the power goes out, I won't have to worry about the dirty water siphoning back into the pond. So another job done. Right, good morning. Another day, more problems. Unfortunately this pond is probably riddled with a parasite or two. I'm not entirely sure what it is because I don't have a microscope. It is on the list of things to get. It's more than likely come from the 2 new kajakis that were put in. As I said in a previous video when I got them, the pond where they come out of, or the tank, it was showing signs of flashing. So obviously when I brought them home I gave them a PP bath. But it obviously wasn't long enough, or it just didn't kill them all off, but they are a little bit better today. I ended up having to take out 3 of my koi from that pond because they were the worst. I think it's 2 shiros and 1 shisui. I ended up putting them in this hospital tank that I've got because they were flashing like mad. And one of them, the dorsal fin had gone red, and the shisui, the front fins were all clamped up. Also a lot of flashing, and the younger of the shiros, it's either a shiro or a becco, I get them confused, but I think the beccos are the ones without any markings on the head, but I have to still getting used to calling them by their real names. I've just done a little water change on that one and they do seem to be a little bit better today. I've added a little bit more treatment in, which is this stuff. It guards against like flukes and stuff. This pumice stuff, it falls through the bags, so I've ordered 10 new bags because this stuff's a lot smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the media that's in the back sieve, put this pumice in the smaller bags I've got on order, put it at the bottom, and then put the bigger stuff on top. And then the 6 odd kilos I took out from the pond down there, I've got a transfer from another bag. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm a bit unwell this morning. I caught whatever my wife had over the weekend. Feeling a bit rough. I'm going to wait until that pond's cured before I put this new media in, but I've got to transfer the media, the bigger media in that bag, into one of these bags so I can put this smaller stuff into the other bag, because that other bag's a lot smaller in like the size of the gaps. So bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So but until they're feeling better and clearer parasites, I'm not gonna put that new media in. I've still got to rinse it and wash it. This pond's all good though at the moment, which is a bit of luck. No problem so far, but just want to get on and get some more media in there really. So yeah, we'll catch you in a few more days I guess when deliveries turn up and I'll feel a bit better. Right, so a few days have passed since I first started treating this grow on pond for the parasite issue. All is well now, it appears. There's no flashing going on, and the 3 koi that were suffering the worst have also now been put back in here. So the pond is still under a bit of a treatment, but I have put some food in today. It's been about 3 days since they've had any food and that, but they're all come up, they're all eating. The young kajakus have come up now. They feed from the top, which is good. So just keep an eye on it, but treatment seems to have done the trick, so quite happy with that. So I'm still feeling rough. I've had it 5 days now, and I haven't really touched the ponds at all, only like topping up the treatment in here and feeding my main pond. The main pond's due a filter clean. It should have been done today really, but I just ain't got the energy to do it, so probably give it a go tomorrow. I've got another little new product to try on the new main pond tomorrow, just as a test. I want to try a couple of little tests with it and see what results I get before I decide where I'm going with that. So yeah, I'm glad that this one's now back up and running and the fish are nice and healthy again, so we'll move on to the next little project. Right, good morning everyone. It is the it's Friday, 2nd of May, and I'm currently doing the weekly maintenance on this main pond. I've done the 2-barrel filter clean already. I've boiled that up twice. Now topping up the pond with the chlorinated water, and I'm just preparing the clay that I'm still using. Once a week I'm putting this in, just to see what it does really. Still a lot lower dose than what it could have, but as it's new for me, I just thought I'd quarter dose it for a while, see how we go. And basically I'm putting this in now so it can run for an hour or so as it's topping up, because what I'm going to try today is one of these, which is a filter sock. I'm going to run 24-hour tests with this filter sock. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run it 24 hours with the moving bed, and then I'm going to turn the moving bed off and run it without for 24 hours. And I want to just see what differences I get. But I'm just going to put the clay in that first, because the clay will have a bit of an effect on the result. So I might end up running 3 tests. I'll run this one, and then
on the third day I might turn the moving bed back on and run it for another 24 hours, because the clay will bunch up the waste. So yeah, that might be an idea, but what I've done is I've just put a cable tie on this, so I'm going to attach it to the outlet over there on the cable tie. This one will be pulled tight and then it will be on a cable tie just to stop it falling off, hopefully. But this is quite well made. I was quite happy with that. It's like double stitched all the way around, and then it's stitched all the way around the seam through the plastic. So quite happy with that, really. The only thing is, it is quite a thick material. It's thicker than I thought it was going to be, so it will stop, well, it will slow that flow down, but I will show you as and when I put it on later on. Knowing my luck, it'll probably fall off straight away, but there you go. Be a laugh for everyone, wouldn't it? But right, I'm going to pour this on in now. There's an air stone just down here, so it will send it out all over the place. Still feeling rough this morning, but pond needs a bit of a clean. Want to keep the fish nice and healthy, so these things have got to be done. And I hate sitting around not doing anything. I've got to be doing something. It drives me nuts, that and so on. So that's in. I'm going to let that circulate around the pond, and then I'll come back to you once it's stopped filling up, and then I'll put this filter sock on and see how we go. Right, I've just cleaned my sieve filter as well. It's nice and clear now, and what I've used is an old toothbrush and some fairy liquid. I've washed it off like really well, just to make sure there ain't any soap or anything left, but nice and clean. But I did see someone over here the other day, their kids accidentally filled the pond with washing powder and it killed all their fish. So make sure you clean it off as best you can, and that's had a thorough rinse in, so I'm going to go and put that back in now. Literally just turn this back on and see how much waste is collected already. Does a good job. It's just a pain. I've got to clean it out 3 to 5 times a day. So yeah, does its job. Right, just put the filter sock on. It's about halfway out of the out pipe, so I'll go and turn it on and see if it falls off. Hopefully not. The water is on its way, so but like I said, we'll test this for 24 hours. Just gone 11 in the morning, so we'll see how dirty this sock filter gets, and we'll take it from there. But it's running. It's not. It hasn't come off yet, but it is going to restrict the flow quite a lot. And as I said, the material on it's pretty thick, so I don't know if I should pull that down a little bit more. Says me, I've probably put it on too tight now, I can't move it. That's a little bit more. Surprised how tight that's gone actually, to be on that pipe. But yeah, so that's on. I'll come back to you in 24 hours and show you what's happened. But I mean, obviously I've put clay in there as well, so the water is a bit murky. Oh, I did forget to mention as well, on my grow-on pond, before I treated it, I did test all of my water parameters, including chlorine. I've got 2 tests for chlorine. One's a strip test and the other is a liquid test. So I do both and I just compare them just to see, but all the water parameters were good, so that's why it was treated with the parasite stuff. So I thought I'd just put that out in case anyone said, did I test? And I did. So right, I'm going to leave it there for now. It's all cleaned, all done, and I'll come back to you in 24 hours. Right, it's 10 to 2 in the afternoon and this thing's blocked already. Look, the water's coming out the back, so I'm going to have to take this off and clean that now, because I can't have that running like that, because you never know what could happen. So I'm going to take that out and clean that, and I'll just show it to you before I clean it. Right. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still, that has blocked this up. So I'm going to clean it out and then I'll put it back on and see how much longer it takes to block that up again, but that's basically like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So, not too good. Right, so filter sock is back on, just been cleaned, so it's now just coming up 2 o'clock. Yeah, not the best really, so glad I'm doing these tests to see how the filter system is doing, but yeah, we'll leave this for 2 or 3 more hours and see, and then I might end up turning the moving bed off today instead of having 24 hours, because obviously that's within 3 hours is blocking up, so doing a 24-hour test ain't really going to change that. It's just going to get worse, so we'll run it like this, and then I'll come back to you if it blocks up and if I decide to turn the moving bed off today. Right, so it's now 4:25 in the afternoon and that's loaded up again, so within less than 2 hours that's filling up, so it's all coming out of the back, so there's too much waste still getting through from the first barrel to the second, so I'm going to take it off, clean it, and I'm going to turn the air pump off for the moving bed, and then I'll run it for another 2 hours and see what we get. So we're going from a 24-hour test to a 2-hour test really. A lot shorter, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll get it cleaned and come back to you later on. Right, let's get this moving bed switched off. And let's run it for 2 hours like this, and let's see what the filter sock, what comes of that test. Right, so it's just coming up to the 2-hour mark. It's about 6:20. I'm losing daylight, so I'm going to have to call this one a few minutes short. It does look better, so I think I'll just cut it off and then I'll show you. Right, got a bit more daylight over here. So it is still fairly dirty, but It hasn't gone up as much on both sides, so it's still dirty, but it is a bit better. So I'm going to leave it for today, and I will try it again tomorrow and see what it looks like on the second test, really. But right, good morning. Now Saturday the 3rd of May, just come out at 20 past 8. I've put the stock back on. Moving bed's still off, so we'll see how long it takes, but I'll check it again in 2 hours and then I'll come back to you. Right, just came out 10:30 and it's pretty plugged up again, so I'll just take it off and show you what it's like inside. Right, so it's not too bad. There's no big bits in there again, really. It's like the tinge. The water has cleared up from yesterday from putting in the clay. So I mean the water's not bad. Like, you still see them real good. Colours don't help with the net. I mean, me personally with this, I want to try and clear this up. I want to get that a lot better. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do at the moment. I'm thinking, do I take all of the media out from the moving bed and put it into the first barrel and change the media that's in the second barrel that was the moving bed? I could also slow the flow rate down more, but it would basically mean that the pond is running just over once an hour. So at the minute it's running about 1.5 times an hour turnover. So not sure on that one. I think I'll leave it at this video and wrap it up because the video's dragging on a bit. I think I'll continue to do tests. If anyone's got any ideas in the comments, drop them. What would you do? I mean, would you change the media? I thought the media would have done a better job. But first barrel's got about 50 litres of the K1 style, and the second has got about 45 litres of K1 style media. So yeah, let us know what you think. But at the moment I'm kind of thinking to put it all near 100 litres into the first barrel and put something different into the second. The idea of when I built this was to have it with least amount of work possible, really, like cleaning wise, and that's why I added the manifolds for cleaning purposes, so I could clean it with the air blower. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all have a good weekend. Yeah, thanks very much.